In this video, we will learn about her path from psychology to her career, as well as how she found her first job.
How did you end up from undergrad here at ASU to where you are now to this career?
Yeah, so it's been a long journey. A lot of different things happened. So I graduated from high school and started college at ASU knowing that I wanted to be a therapist. And I started pretty convinced that I was going to get my master's in counseling because the person who inspired me to be a therapist had their master's in counseling. So in my mind, that was like the one path to becoming a therapist, which is not the case. There are like 10 paths to be, or at least that's how it feels. There are a lot.
Right.
So when I was a sophomore, I got involved in research here in the psych department. I was an RA for 3.5 out of the 4.5 years that I was here at school. So I was in 3 different research labs doing that for a long time, and through those experiences I started to become pretty convinced that I was going to get my PhD in clinical psych. And then by the end of my schooling, I was really burnt out on research, and so then I wasn't sure whether I wanted to do that, so I went and talked to one of my mentors and told them, I'm kind of panicking, I don't think I can do a PhD. I'm wondering if maybe I should just do my master's in counseling like I was originally planning. And this person told me, well, if you're going to do your master's, you should do social work because it's more flexible and there may be more job opportunities if you do social work. And at the time, I knew absolutely nothing about a master's in social work degree, and I didn't really know anything about social work in general. But I was like, okay, I guess that's what I'm doing. So I applied for ASU's MSW program, which is based downtown, and I got more clinical experience in my grad program and then started working as a therapist right when I graduated with my master's.
You said you started working as soon as you got that degree. How did you find your first job?
So my first job out of grad school was with Devereaux Advanced Behavioral Health, which is where I'm working part-time now. So that's the community mental health agency. And for new grad therapists, it's pretty common to work at a community mental health agency. And so I don't remember actually how I found that. I must have found it like on Indeed or Monster or something like that. I just remember when I was about a month away from graduating with my master's, I had a spreadsheet with all these different companies listed out and all the different places I could apply. I was just desperate to make sure I had something lined up, right? Like I just needed to be able to pay rent because it was going to be the first time that I was sort of out on my own and not a student. And then as far as my job in private practice, I got that through a cold email, basically. So I had heard of this person who owns the private practice. She has her LCSW, which means that she's independently licensed, and that's what I'm working on now. So basically, in the 2 or 3 years after you graduate with your master's, that's typically what therapists are working on. And it involves getting a certain number of supervision hours under your belt, a certain number of therapy hours, then you have to take an exam, and yeah, it's a long process. And at Devereaux, there was not anyone offering supervision hours for my LCSW. You specifically need an LCSW to get those hours. And I emailed her and said, hey, I've heard really great things about you. I'd love to meet you for coffee and get to know you and hear about your private practice. And then a couple months after that, she offered me a job.